Welcome back to Spellbound Pages, where we talk fantasy, dark romance, morally questionable MMC and FMCs, and books that have absolutely no respect for mental health. Honestly, May was kind of chaotic, but in the best way, as always, right? I got Haunted Mansion, Dragons, Masked Stalker, Theater Magic, Obsessive MMCs, and also Emotional Devastation. At least 3 books that made me stare at the wall, wondering literally what just happened. And some of these became my favorites. Some of them disappointed me, and some had me questioning my reading tastes and choices. So grab your coffee or tea and let's talk about everything I have read in May. And then we can talk about the book I will pick for June. What a start. This book literally surprised me. The gothic atmosphere was immaculate. The haunted manor felt like a character in its own right. And can we talk about the enemies to lovers dynamic here? Because this was true enemies to lovers. And this is not the we are bickering with each other and we are flirting at the same times or hate to lovers, absolutely not. Yes, there is hate and angst, but that's literally how we try to unalive you as much as possible, no question asked, and we will still fall with each other. That being said, the characters and the romance didn't hit me as hard as I had hoped. But the tension, the chaos, the demons, and the spooky vibes of this book absolutely carried it. This second read was everything. It reminded me why the romantasy community I am part of fared head over heels for this book and this series. Yes, the dragons are still iconic and we should have more of them on the page, to be honest. Violet remains one of my favorite FMCs, with how relatable she is sometimes. And Xaden Ryerson is unfortunately still Xaden Ryerson. And let's not forget about my man Redok. Yes, I'm a Redok girly, and I enjoy every time he appears on a page, even more now. And knowing what's all that coming in the book and in the series makes all the foreshadowing even better. I picked up on hints and things I didn't pick up the first time, and that was crazy, to be honest. Also, can I say that Dane just I know me even more now? It's insane. I just wanted to get the hell out of the page, period. I had fun with this one, but honestly, I wanted it to go even darker. I was expecting way much more darkness than this was. Saint was exactly the kind of obsessive, unhinged MMC Shantel Tessier writes so well about. But honestly, the scheme, the story felt so much repetitive to what we already experienced in the past books. That being said, most of it was still entirely addictive and chaotic, and it still got me to turn pages like my life depended on it. So we good, I'm continuing the series, obviously. This book has absolutely no business being this funny. And I'm going to say what I'm going to say. This is way funnier than Butcher and Blackbird for me. I said what I said. Josh somehow managed to be a masked stalker that I want to dead is husband material. He is still a working red flag, but like in the best way, if it's even possible to say. And he's really adorable. He's husband material, literally. The banter was absolutely hilarious and got me kicking my feet so many times, like 80% of the book. The chemistry with the main couple was absolutely fantastic. And I spent most of that book laughing, kicking my feet, jiggling like a teenage girl, and questioning my own standards. Unfortunately, now I get why most of the people I know didn't like that book that much. This is my least favorite in the series so far. I rather like the first one, and I was expecting so much more from this specific couple because I love Tanja. The chemistry was there at times, but I truly never fully connected with the romance, sadly. And some choices of the main characters made me staring at the pages, wondering why they didn't make better decisions. That was questionable more than once. That said, the appearance of Shannon made everything better when it was the case. So yeah, that saved the book. And I am absolutely continuing the series because why not? It's still enjoyable no matter what. But it's not the best of the two, definitely not, at least for me. That was literally a letdown. Where did the plot go in this one? We went from a slow burn to smut territory like 0 to 100 from book 1 to book 2. And I didn't recall entirely book 1, but it was not that spicy. And suddenly there was smut everywhere. And it was like a filler book. Because I remember that I loved the premise of the first book. I did enjoy it a lot. I think I noted it like 4 stars or something. But this sequel felt like it was all for the spice. The plot left the chart and the pages, instead of exploring even more the fascinating world and magic system that there was in the first book. And I wanted more of it. And yes, like the 2-3 final chapters entirely delivered all the actions, all the things, finally. But honestly, it was such a struggle to finish it that I'm wondering if I really want to continue the series. I could, but I'm in no rush to continue it. I'm not sure at this point. I am officially obsessed with this series. Please give me more of it. As usual, like the first one, the atmosphere is absolutely stunning. The writing is stunning too. Gorgeous. Chef kiss. And learning more about the Bonder entirely wrecked me. But it did so in the best way. So this is not quite a 5-star read. The main reason it is not a 5-star read is because I was expecting way more slow burn for the second installment because it was sold as one slow burn for the second book. And I was expecting more slow burn, more than that. It was a tiny bit faster from my expectation, but it is very close enough of a 5-star for me. Enough so that I cannot wait to put my hands on book 3 when this will come out. This book, it was a bit weird, entirely theatrical, literally. It was also very clever plotting, and unlike anything else I have read recently. And once my brain adjusted to the theatrical play-like dialogue, I was entirely hooked. It kept surprising me, a tiny bit confusing me at times, because you need to follow what's happening, and somehow did manage to damage me emotionally, and also impress me at the same time. That being said, the main reason it is not a 5-star for a standalone is that what was that ending? Literally, this is the kind of open ending that you have also in movies that leaves you staring like, why? Why did you do that? So yeah, that's mostly the main confusion and why it is not a 5-star. I was expecting better for the ending. It was not a 6-star God tier book for me, mostly because, honestly, the first part, which is like 35% to 40%, got me confused, was really complex to get into, at least my brain wasn't really immersed or focusing on it, and maybe it's a me thing at that time or a mood thing, but I had a very hard time immersing at first into the book for the first part, and I was a bit bored because of it. Until part 2. I pushed through, and that was entirely worth it, which is why it is a 5-star. And this was honestly one of my favorite books of this month, aside obviously for Fwing. And yes, if you are reading this, be patient with the first part. It is entirely worth it. I promise you, once you arrive to the second part, everything will make sense and fall into place. And if not, then maybe it's not the book for you. And then once part 2 was here, I couldn't put the book down. I was entirely invested, and addicted. The romance is beautiful, achingly beautiful. The themes here are incredibly layered and heavy. This is a very heavy book. Please read the trigger warnings because this is very heavy. War, trauma, torture, and everything. This is dark fantasy, so please don't take this lightly. And let's be honest, can Farron entirely join the book boyfriend fame of all? Book husband, even. Give me a Cain in my life. Please, thank you. Last but not least, Sadly, I was disappointed by this one. I mean, I enjoyed it overall, but it's like it gives the middle book syndrome type of book. The pacing wasn't strong at all. I was a bit bored. Compared to the first instant mode that I really enjoyed, this one was enjoyable, but not more than that. Very average. Some of the reveals felt entirely obvious before they even happened, and I honestly wanted to shake Alina. She annoyed me more than once. Silas remained blonde-hair god and entirely unhinged. I love him so much in this book. He disappointed me at the end of the last book, but in this one I was entirely on Silas' team. I was like, yes, please, king. Worship the ground she walks on. Do it again. The last chapters of this book, that's what's got me finally hooked 100%. Got my attention and I couldn't put it down at the end. So yes, because of those last chapters, I'm entirely ready for book 3. And I really hope there won't be a third party, fourth party romance pinning for her, because what was that? This part was not giving it. Not doing it for me. It was weirdly done. It was weird and awkward at best. So overall, May gave me 2 5 stars. More than enjoyable reads. One new obsession. Not so new, but you know. Several morally questionable MMCs, and my to-be-read didn't get any smaller by the end of it. Speaking of my to-be-read, let's talk about June, right? And the book I am hoping to get through this month. It is time. I have read the first book at the start of this year, if I'm correct, or the end of last year. I don't recall exactly, but it was December or January. I think January. So after reading The Housemaid, I even watched the movie recently, and I enjoyed it, but I rather liked the book, to be honest. And it is finally time to see if Freida McFadden can trick me again. The fact that our girl, Millie, is literally finding suspicious bloodstain and mysterious crying behind locked doors is not a good sign. And I'm pretty sure she will make terrible decisions. Once again. Honestly, at this point, I just want twist, drama, some surprises, and obviously a moment where I will gasp out loud, staring at the pages. This is actually an arc for this month that I received, and that will be expected for the 22 of July this year. Then listen, there is forbidden magic, a morally grey MMC, wire politics, betrayal, and even revenge. I'm hooked. Please give it to me. This sounds like it was just made for me, to be honest. I am entirely prepared to have my heart being broken within these pages, and then just ask for more at the end of it. Listen, it is time to continue this series, and I was looking forward to it. And at this point anyway, Nyktos owns a real estate in my brain, right? So yeah, after the ending of the previous book that got me panting and wondering so many things, there was absolutely no chance I was not continuing this series. I am expecting emotional damage, as always, questionable decisions, and obviously Nyktos being obsessed with Sarah, always, which is honestly anyway what I signed up for. So let's do it. After all the murder mysteries, the thrillers, the magic, the dark romances, the demons and emotional trauma, I think I just needed a cute romance with a cowboy, right? Something cozy with the summer. And that's it. That's why Gen and Nick Bukopoe chose that for me, I guess. Because, I mean, what else? I need it for my mental health. Please give it to me. A one-night kiss. Surprise, I'm your boss. Sound exactly like the kind of chaos I will enjoy. I know. Somehow, I still didn't have read this series, and I'm late, okay? And a friend chose it for me, and this was on my priority list for this year anyway. Mysterious magical competition. Sisters, secrets, and a game where nobody knows what's real. It sounds like the perfect book to read while I will pretend I am not late to this party. But that's fine, better late than never, right? So everyone keep talking about this book, and this was part of the Goodreads challenge for June, for the month of June. And obviously my curiosity won. So here we are. Missing Children, Family Secrets, a summer camp, perfect season to read it. And a mystery spanning decades. This feels like the kind of story that slowly gets under your skin until you are telling yourself one more chapter. This book had me at the word thief. I'm a sucker for a thief or assassin fantasy kind of book. Please give it to me, especially if it's the FMC or MMC. It also really had me at Rivals, and then it added secret agendas, guild politics, and even a mission that involves stealing a heart right of an enemy. Yeah, this sounds exactly like the kind of fantasy book and romance, and that could absolutely become my new obsession. And maybe yours. Of course, I just finished Fourth Wing, so we are in for a reread of Iron Flame, right? Obviously. Am I emotionally prepared to go through that again? Probably not. Will I be reading it anyway? Yeah. 100%. And I really hope I will enjoy it more than the first time. Because I was a bit bored, if I recall, reading Iron Flame and a bit disappointed compared to the first book. I still really enjoyed it, but less than Fourth Wing and less than Onyx Storm. That being said, maybe I will enjoy it more this time around. We shall see. This is one of my favorite authors, and the last book I've read from her, I didn't like it as much as a standalone series. So I'm really hoping this one will redeem the previous book. Because Dark Academia, Illegal Magic, Tarot Cards, A Prince for the MMC, Fake Engagements, and Magical School Drama, that sounds absolutely perfect. And like it's my favorite tropes reunited in one book. And let's be honest, the second I heard Tarot Magic, it was already on my TBR. So it is now the time to read it. And this is it for my June hopefuls. If you have read any of this, or if any of these made it straight to you to be read, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know. And if you have a June to be read that you are so excited about, you can also share it in the comments. I'd love to add more books to my already endless to be read, right? So why not? Please share it with me. And as usual, please don't forget to like, subscribe, write a comment, and share with someone who loves reading as much as we do. I see you next time.